Is this mayor a straight-up dictator? Yo, what's good? It's your boy back in the building with another heater from Viral Talk Central. You already know what to do. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe. Send this video to your group chat. And drop a comment below, 'cause after this one, I need to hear what y'all think. Now the question on everybody's mind, is this man running a city or running a dictatorship? Let's get into it. Mayor Christopher Clark, out of Harvey, Illinois. Yeah, Harvey. That's right next door to Tiffany Henyard's spot. And honestly, the way these two move, it's giving evil twins in office. Real talk. You can think of this video as part 2 of the Mayor Madness saga. If you missed it, Jedediah sat down with Mayor Clark for an interview. What came out of that convo? Wild. Just wild. Word is, this man runs his city council meetings like he's commanding a military unit. You ready for this? No clapping allowed. Yup, you heard that right. No applause, no snaps, not even a single amen. You in the audience, you feel inspired. Somebody says something that lifts your spirit, and if you clap, security will walk you out. Cute for being happy. Like, are you serious right now? Picture this. Someone makes a heartfelt statement, moves the entire room, and just as folks start clapping, security's on you like you just lit a firecracker in the chamber. That's the energy we're working with here. And it gets better. Jedediah ain't going for it. He's calling it out and saying, nah, I'm not letting this slide. Dude's ready to go head to head over this no clapping policy. And honestly, watching it unfold is equal parts comedy and chaos. You'll be laughing, then double taking, like, wait, is this real life? Later in the show, someone actually calls in and drags the mayor on live air. Okay. It was straight savage and, yeah, you do not want to skip that part. Flames? But let's keep it real for a sec. When did it become a crime to clap at a public meeting? Unless, of course, you're clapping for the mayor himself. Then it's all good, right? Suddenly, nobody's getting kicked out. Sound familiar? Exactly. It's the same playbook Tiffany Henyard runs. Control the crowd, shut down dissent, rap. It all in some fake "we need order" excuse. Like, come on. These two are marching in lockstep. They're on. It's giving red flags all over. So in this video, we're breaking it all down, reacting to the madness, rolling the clips, and having a few laughs along the way. But behind the jokes, there's a serious message here. This isn't just about clapping. It's about control. It's about power. It's about who really runs the show in these towns. Now I want to hear from y'all. Drop it in the comments. Does banning applause in a public meeting make sense to anybody? Or is this just straight up dictator vibes? Let's break it down together. He doesn't even know what they're saying, but he's out here shaking his head like he does. Said was clapping, and he's acting like, yeah, and what you gonna do about it? Sir, what are you even talking about? Literally, all they said was clapping. That's it. Yet here he is, full of attitude, pretending like something deep and offensive was said. Clearly, he didn't understand. And that's the problem. Once again, the issue is right in front of us. I see people laughing hopefully at something funny, but when people clap, oh no, now it's a disruption. The mayor starts talking about a meeting on June 9th and floats the idea of a clapping experiment, saying if clapping gets in the way of business, that's when it becomes disruptive. But let's be honest, what he considers disruptive is really just anything that agitates him. If you make him feel less like a king, suddenly it's a problem. He can't move on. He's caught up in his feelings. That's the real issue. Is that what you mean, sir? Yes. No, maybe. Because it sure looks like this is about your emotional response, not an actual disruption. If clapping isn't interrupting anything, if it's just people responding to what's being said, then what's the problem? People should be allowed to show support or disapproval. You like something? Clap. You don't. Ooh. That's normal. Civic engagement. But this mayor wants to control the emotional temperature of the room like a dictator. He wants to decide what's decent, what's in order, what's appropriate based on how it makes him feel. But when you're the one defining acceptable behavior by your mood, that's not leadership, that's control. That's how you slide into tyranny. It's your feelings, Mr. Mayor, don't matter, not in this role. In your personal life, sure, but in public service, irrelevant. If your emotions are getting in the way, step down. Otherwise, lead with strength, not sensitivity. At one point, the mayor says, act like you're in church. Then backtracks, joking, I'm just playing. But his tone keeps switching from condescending to passive-aggressive. It's clear what's really going on. He doesn't want clapping because clapping usually means someone's getting praise. And that someone isn't him. He even mocks it, saying, we're clapping like we're at a high school graduation. That's my baby. I love her. But when people speak truth to power, clapping is natural. That's not disruption. That's democracy. Just let the people clap. Then he tries to soften again with, my skin's not that thin. But come on, it obviously is. Just look at how long we've been discussing clapping, he awkwardly jokes, and tries to regain control of the energy in the room, but it ends up being one of the strangest reactions I've ever seen from a public official. All this tension over clapping. She ends with, good job tonight, Jed. I'll wait to hear your response, Mayor, but please do better. I've never seen a mayor like you and Tiffany Henyard. That's not a compliment, and that's true. You don't want to be compared to Tiffany Henyard. That's a warning sign. If your name is even mentioned in the same breath, it's time for a serious gut check. And if you truly care about leadership, then it's time to do better. 'Cause ambition without humility is dangerous. This wasn't about clapping. It was about control, ego, and the growing disconnect between leadership and the people. If Mayor Clark is serious about change, it starts with him. You can't enforce rules based on mood. This isn't your living room. You can't silence the public because you're uncomfortable. Clapping isn't the threat. Accountability isn't the enemy. And servant leadership, that's part of the job. So to everyone watching, keep showing up, keep speaking up, keep clapping when it counts. And if Clark really wants to be supermayor, maybe that's what we should start calling him. Maybe it'll help him calm down and stop bullying the public. Drop a 1 in the comments if you think his next response will be humble and thoughtful. But if you expect more of the same arrogant, I'm the king energy, let us know, because honestly, it's not looking good, and I agree 100%. One person pointed out how Clark's responses are often contradictory. The more you watch, the clearer it becomes. He pretends to agree with people, then goes back to the same behavior. He says things like, I'm trying to fix the problem, but his actions don't reflect that. When people call him a narcissist, he brushes it off. I've been called worse, as if it's no big deal. But it is. That's how people see you. Still, Clark refuses to reflect. He talks about the people's house, but uses that phrase to justify removing people or cutting them off. Then he compares the city chambers to the White House. Seriously? You're not the president. You're not royalty. You're a mayor. In Congress, people say wild things and still get to speak. But Clark treats every disagreement like a threat, and every time he's criticized, he brings race into it, always playing the too much power for a black man card. Look, race matters. But this ain't about race. Sometimes, Clark, you're just being a jerk. Stop deflecting. Leadership requires humility and self-awareness. But Clark seems addicted to validation. Instead of growing, he doubles down on ego. That's not power, it's insecurity. He's proud of silencing people, even boasts about it like it's a win. But it just proves he doesn't know how to lead. Leadership is about listening, not asserting dominance. He has a lot of growing up to do. He's not the super mayor he thinks he is. He talks about working together, but everything he does shows he's only interested in his own agenda, and he gets offended when people call him Chris. He wants to be called Mayor Clark or Mayor Christopher Clark, but then says, I'm just Chris, a regular guy. Which is it? You can't demand a title and act humble only when convenient. That's hypocrisy. Same with clapping. If people clap for him, it's fine. But if they clap for someone criticizing him, suddenly, it's disruptive. The double standard is loud and clear. He creates committees like the Public Works Committee and things do get cleaned up. But when it comes to strategy and funding, he shifts responsibility to the public. These are unpaid volunteers. Meanwhile, Clark is getting paid. Why are residents doing his job for free while he takes credit? That's not leadership, that's laziness. At the end of the day, I don't trust Clark. His words don't match his actions. He talks about the people but focuses on himself. He's obsessed with control, not community. If you made it this far, congratulations, you're the lucky number 7. Drop that in the comments. Mama loves you. Peace.